Hello and welcome to a new tutorial. This is going to be on applied energistics, making a basic ME network. Let's just set it to day again because it looks like it's becoming night. This is going to be just a basic tutorial on how to make the first ME network you're going to be making if you're just starting out. In the description or edit over here will be what you need for a basic ME network, everything from the basic resources. So you want to pause the video now to figure out what you're going to need. Right, to start off with, we're going to be making the controller, which, and you look at my setup on, is this bit here. This is the part that tells you what's working and what's connected to it. So that's basically a quartz cutting knife, 2 redstone, diamond, and a silicon. Silicon is just nether quartz or Certus quartz dust smelted. So you get that. This is the easiest way. There's a few other ways to make it, but that's the easiest way I feel to make these. Next part is going to be these flux crystals. They are just a nether quartz, Certus quartz, and redstone. Then to make it, the first part is like that, with the process in the middle. Now to make this processor you can also do it using an assembly table, but I just find it, bearing in mind you've just started out, you're probably going to want to do the smelting one. So there you go, you've got our first part. Just ignore those, they're just there for extras. Next part, we're going to make the drive bay. This is going to hold all of our drives down here. We're going to need the basic processor. See, the diamond one was an advanced processor. So this is just very similar: 2 redstone, 2 silicon, 2 gold instead of diamonds. Wow, I didn't realize that. And then the diamond will slowly, the knife will slowly be used up. Then to make this, it's just 2 glass, either side a chest, which I'm sure you know how to make, and 4 iron. While waiting for that to smelt, we might as well move on to the next part. Now, there are 2 versions of interface for this. This is a crafting interface, so you can use whatever and craft whatever here. And also, it won't get rid of it. I can make more, and as you can see, it's getting reduced from there. Or there's the more basic version, which uses less resources, I guess. So this is called an assembly table. For that, we're going to need some flux dust, which is just Certus, nether quartz, and redstone dust. Don't know how I made it loads extra. And then we're going to need that to make these conversion matrices, which you already know how to make the processor. Just some basic dirt, basic quartz. You can probably find out how to make this in the too many items, which I'm pretty much confident that most people have in their mod pack. Then ME cable, which is going to be quite important, is just dust in the middle and glass either side. And then eventually to make the assembly table, or the access terminal even, sorry, just very basic glass and everything mushed together. Now the difference is, if I add it to this, it only shows what I can get in and out. I can't use it to craft. Now I can see now there's more items shown on the terminal than the crafting terminal. However, of course you can craft. So if you were in, I don't know, big skyscraper and you wanted to be able to get things out every terminal, but on basic floors and more complex floors, you could have a crafting terminal. Your choice. If you want to upgrade it into a crafting terminal, you're going to need a storage cell. You're also going to need these for the storage drives, so you're going to need to probably make quite a few of these. That's just very basic quartz, redstone, and the processor. And then you just chuck that in there, and you're going to need your access terminal. So they're a bit more expensive. Crafting terminal, and there we go. Right. And then to make a drive, this is the most basic drive. It holds 1024 different items and 63 different types of items. We'll get onto that more in a minute. That's just your storage cell, redstone, glass, and iron. Did I actually get these in the end? Ah, that's why that wasn't made. This is just very basic with 2 processors, iron ingots, glass, and a chest. Chest makes sense, seeing as you need to hold stuff. Right, this is just creative energy cell. This could be anything, wind turbine, nuclear reactor, whatever. I've just put a basic universal cable on. These are pretty much the best, I would have said, version of power to get from one place to another. There's 4 different types. They all get harder to make, and they can hold more. They can chuck through more energy in. We're only going to need the basic ones, which is just steel and redstone. Then you can upgrade it to enriched alloy, circuits, and atomic cores. They're very difficult. Then of course they just link to anything. Now the ME controller is the one that needs to link to the power, so you put that down. You can see it's charging up. Then we can put the drive bay down, and the ME crafting terminal. Now it doesn't actually matter where they all go. It could be linked to anything. I can see with our more complex one, all that's happening, this big thing, is just linked to this, and it all goes through. This doesn't actually need to be connected, but I'll get onto that in a second. Right, so what you're going to need to do is put your drive bay in there, and now you can start storing whatever. Now we're going to take that out and that out, and what it's going to show is that 5 types have been used up and 42 of the 124 bytes have been used up. 5 types just show that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different things have been used up. Now the 42 different bytes, I believe that's for every item or every thing that's been used to make this drive, and so on. So this would be 9, I guess, but I'm not very confident on that. I'm not actually sure how the bytes work. If all of your types have been used up, so you've got 63 different types but the bytes are still full, or vice versa, and the bytes are full but you can still fit different types in, this light will turn to orange, which means you can put more of a certain thing in, but most of the time you can't add a new different type. So let's say you'd got different types of, you got loads of different ores and stuff, 63 different types of ores. You couldn't add dirt to it because that would be a new type. Whereas if you had more gold, you could add gold to it and it'd be absolutely fine. If it's red, that means the types are full and the bytes are full, which means you're going to need to go get a new drive. Tools, if they have different durabilities, they all take up a new type, which is why it's probably best not to take tools in here unless you've got more drives. That's basically a basic ME network. You can store stuff in it, and this just tells you that there's 2 things connected to it. This is a more advanced ME network, which I can go into more detail if you want me to. Just leave a comment and I will go and make a more in-depth tutorial about it. This is basically a way to autocraft, and this is a wireless access point. You need the wireless access point. These are wireless boosters, and you're going to need a wireless access terminal. Just link it very simply. I've dropped it on the floor, and when I go over here I can still access everything that's in that terminal or that system. This is just showing what's inside it. I've programmed it to know a few things, but as you can see there's 0 beds. Now this is what we're going to do. We're going to teach it how to make beds. So we've got string, we've got wood. So what we're going to need to do, right click on that, it gets rid of it. Why does it get rid of it? Because I'm in creative mode. Right. Oh, why did I just type that? Never mind. Okay, we're going to ignore some of that for a second. I'm going to go out of creative mode as well. So what you need to do for teaching it, you need blank patterns, a pattern encoder, and a this is just basically the automatic crafter. It's got heat vents. It's got I'm going to have to look that up now, aren't I? It's got assembler containment walls, and it's got a combination of 2 crafting CPUs and pattern providers. Now These can be any size as long as they're a different type of rectangle or square, or, well, cuboid. And you can fill them with a different combination of crafting CPUs and pattern providers. Pattern providers I have 2 pattern providers, so there's 2 pages. Nothing's in them at the moment, so you can't see any of their designs. And crafting CPUs make it quicker. So we're just going to make a very basic pattern. So 4 string makes wool. So we're just going to encode that and put that in here. Now because this is linked up, we can then see that it's now said craft. So if I craft just 1, it's now going to craft 1 wool, which is great. And I can also search there for wool if I wanted to. There's loads of stuff in here, then that'd be beneficial. But we want to make a bed, so we're going to need a bit more wool than that. We're going to need, actually we can craft it with just 1. Well, we can teach you how to craft it with just 1 anyway. So you just right click, whatever it is doesn't get used up, there's a bed in code. Right, so we've taught it how to make a bed. If we just bin that just to make sure, it hasn't got any wool, but it has got wood. Now it says here no beds, so if we then say okay, we want one bed, begin, it's then going to craft 3 wool, and then it's going to craft a bed. As you can see, there's a bed. Now I'm still not sure how you get that to work. I think you were meant to do it with a conversion matrix, I thought. I don't know. I'll have to research that up, and if you want a tutorial on how to build one of these and go into more advanced stuff like how to get things to smelt or pulverize or using machines with ME networks, just tell me in the comments. If you've liked this video, please give it a like. If you dislike this video, then dislike this video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more.